Hi third graders, Mrs. Oliver here. I'm going to go over some comprehension with our story in the Floppy book this week. We are on Unit 1, Week 3, and the story is called Room to Grow. You can find that on pages 54 through 59. So a short summary of the story is we are introduced to a girl named Kaiku, and she moves to a new place, and of course that can be challenging when you are somewhere new, and she makes a friend named Jill right away. And Jill kind of explains to her that their neighborhood, their community wants to grow a garden, but they don't have a lot of knowledge about that. Well, Kaiku's family, their culture is from Japan, and they have a lot of indoor gardening at their home, so they have expertise in that. So these two friends end up sharing that knowledge from her culture to Jill's, and helps the community grow their own garden. And therefore our main character seems to fit in and has room to grow in her new home, which is Portland, Oregon. So as I'm reading the story, I can tell that this is a narrative because someone is telling the story in a sequence. But it's also nonfiction because of some of the text features that I have. For instance, I have photographs that have captions. I have a map of Oregon on page 55. So for that reason, our genre is narrative. But instead of it being fiction, a made-up story, we can label this one as nonfiction because of those text features that are giving us factual information about Portland, Oregon, and the people in this story. The comprehension strategy this week is asking and answering questions, and you do that by thinking of a question in your head and then using the text as evidence to answer that question. So one of the things I was wondering was, why are there so many plants inside Kaiku's house? So I'm going to read this section to you, and we'll see if we can use some evidence to answer that question. It says, our new home in Portland has no yard. There wasn't even a tiny plot of land, so Mama made an indoor garden. First, she and Papa planted seeds in pots. Then they hung them from hooks. Next, they crammed the plants onto shelves. Green vines tumbled over the desks. Soon our house had plants everywhere. So why did they have so many plants inside their house? Because their new home has little land to build a garden outdoors. This kind of leads us further in the story when Jill's community wants to plant a garden, but they also have a really small plot of land. So they end up solving that problem by stacking the planter boxes so that the plants can still all get sun, but they are making that space very usable the way that they are building the garden. Our sequence is our comprehension skill that goes along with this story, and sequence basically means putting things in the correct order. So first, second, third, fourth, or beginning, middle, end. So we're going to focus on the beginning, middle, end of our story. So at the beginning, we have our main character, Kaiku, has many plants growing inside her home, and Jill comes over and sees this. Because of this, Jill knows her family is good at gardening and has expertise. It means really good knowledge. After that, Jill's parents ask for help planting the community garden, and Kaiku's parents agree to help. Okay. What's nice about a sequence chart is we can write it about many things. So we could have talked more about Kaiku moving here. We could have talked about her friendship progressing with Jill. But we want to focus on main events instead of little tiny details when we're putting them in order. I hope that helped you understand your story for this week a little bit better, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.